Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julien.
Can you tell what sort of, episode we're gonna film today?
About braces.
Oh, wow. How did you know that? Wow. Yes, exactly. So we wanted to go back to the basics. So, we wanted to talk about braces. You had braces, right? Mm-hmm. How long ago?
8 years ago.
8 years ago?
Yes.
For how long?
For 1.5 years.
That's pretty average. Usually about 1.5 to 2 is normal. What type of braces did you have at that time?
I had the clear one, so I guess this one.
Oh, so you had the ceramic brace. So you can see the ceramic is actually very, very aesthetic and quite discreet. But you have to imagine that there's a wire that goes across. The wire was metal, right?
Yeah, it was metal.
So the wire is gonna be metal, but then the brackets themselves are gonna be ceramic. Yeah, so both do the same thing, metal braces or ceramic braces. They're just different materials, but then the mechanism of braces is the same. Do you remember how the braces went on the first day?
He glued them on piece by piece.
Yes, so a lot of
remember that.
people think that we have to drill the tooth to shove it into your tooth, or they ask, is it painful to get them on? Is it painful to get the braces on?
Like during the procedure?
Yeah, during the procedure.
Not really.
Not really, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you said, we use a special glue to put each bracket one by one. And after that, usually if you have ceramic braces, then you're gonna get the clear elastics. If not, if you have metal braces, you can go crazy. You can choose whatever you want. So you can do rainbow if you want, although the orthodontist may not like that. It's more work. Yes. So you can see that braces are formed of 3 parts. So we talked about the bracket. So the brackets, they actually act like handles. So in order to move teeth, we need to grab onto the tooth, right? And the brackets allow for that. And then the second part is the wire. And the wire is the actual thing that applies the force. It's been 8 years, but when the wire went on, did you feel the pressure?
I really, it was intense.
It was intense.
I couldn't chew anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once the wires go on to the brackets, that's when the forces gets applied and then the
Yeah.
teeth start to move. And then finally are the elastics that goes around the brackets. And the only purpose of them is to hold the wire into the bracket. Yeah. And there are these self-ligating braces where you actually don't need the rubber. Let me ask you this. When did the pain start? Not right after, right?
I remember getting home after getting those braces, and it started hurting like crazy. Like I couldn't chew anything.
Yeah.
I only had to eat porridge,
Just
like
porridge?
congee.
And how long did it last? How many days?
I don't quite remember, but I guess it lasted a few days.
So it's normal to have pain for a couple of days. So it is actually normal to get the braces on, and after about 2 hours, you're gonna start to feel the pressure.
Yeah.
But it's not like pain, right? It's like really sore, like dull,
Sore,
achy
yeah.
kind of pain. Yeah, so especially gonna be more prominent when you bite into something. So
Yeah.
obviously you cannot really bite food for the time being. Yeah, so I would say day 3 is the worst. And then after day 3, it sort of goes down. After about a week, you're used to it. So during the time that you had the pain, what did you do to sort of, help you feel better?
I
Do you
just
remember?
didn't eat.
You just didn't eat. I don't want you not to eat.
I remember getting some painkillers.
Okay, so for the painkillers, there's 2 main types, right? One is the ibuprofen, which is like the Advil. The second type is acetaminophen, which is Tylenol. Can you guess which one we recommend over the other?
Wild guess, Tylenol?
Wow. Yeah, that's the right guess. Well, why did you say Tylenol?
I was thinking Advil is more for like inflammation in the body, and
Oh.
Tylenol is more for, painkillers.
Advil and Tylenol, they act to mediate pain.
Yeah.
But yes, it targets more towards the inflammation, but we actually need that inflammation. The tooth movement is an inflammatory process. So when we apply force, it activates those cells like white blood cells and all the different kinds of like cytokines, all these molecules that comes toward the site, and that turns over the bone. So it sort of resorbs the bone and it builds bone behind it, and that's why progressively we can move the tooth, right? Tooth seems very solid, but how can we move it in solid bone? It's through inflammation. And that's why in theory, if you interfere with inflammatory process, then it can slow down the tooth movement. So very good guess.
Yes,
Very
I guessed it right.
Good job, Julie. So Tylenol for pain, which is okay. We also recommend cold foods.
Cold foods.
Yeah, like ice cream, ice cap, right? The reason being, first of all, the inflammatory process. When it's cold, then you feel better.
Yeah.
Second, the wire that we use is called a nitinol wire, and it's a temperature-sensitive wire. So this tends to get active when it's heated, and it tends to like cool down when it's exposed to cold. So it relaxes. So you don't remember eating more ice cream?
Maybe I did.
Maybe you did. Porridge technically would have made the pain a little bit worse if it's warm, right?
Oh,
Yeah. So
true.
what about like getting used to having braces in the mouth? Did it cause like a lot of sore spots or scratches?
It felt very funny.
It felt funny.
Inside the mouth.
Right.
Because it leaves like marks inside your
exactly.
mouth.
So it's like having something that wasn't there, and especially our mouth and tongue is very sensitive. So if you have a bunch of these brackets, even though they're ceramic, they're not like smooth, right? So you'll feel it, and you're gonna get these ulcers and sore spots for the first few weeks, which is very normal. In order to deal with that, we recommend a salt water rinse. So have like a teaspoon of salt in a cup of water, and then you're gonna swish it around for about like, I don't know, 4 to 5 times a day. That's gonna help to make you feel better and to heal faster. When you had the braces on, have you ever experienced any emergencies like a poking wire? Broken brackets?
Actually, one of the ceramic, it fell off.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, so I had to go back, get it fixed.
Yes.
But it took a couple of days because I had to get the appointment. I had to live
Without the brackets?
Yeah, without
Did it
the
like
brackets.
completely fall off? Did you almost swallow it?
No, it just fell off the tooth,
Oh.
but it kind of was hanging on the
Yes.
wire, so it
Exactly.
I don't know, it looked funny.
So because we have the wire and the bracket is held onto the wire, usually when the bracket breaks, it's gonna be hanging there, but it's gonna be like bead on a string kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I kept playing with it with my tongue.
Yes, it's like a tongue toy. People worry that, oh, if I break the bracket, like I can swallow it. Yes, if you break the very back ones, you may, but usually for the front, because it's
Yeah.
held on by the elastic, it's not an issue. And don't panic in braces and orthodontics. There's not really like true emergency. So you don't really have to worry about that. So if you have a broken bracket, just call the office, get an appointment. As long as you get it fixed within about a week's time frame, I think you'll be okay.
You experienced a true emergency?
True
One of your
emergency in
patients?
orthodontics. Fortunately, I have not.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
but
good.
there are some horror stories where people swallow the bracket into the wrong tube. So if it gets to the lungs, or if they actually swallow it and they can feel it, then you need to take an X-ray because you really want to make sure that it didn't go to the go down the wrong pipe.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's scary.
Yes. But fortunately, in my career, I have not experienced like a true emergency. And another common emergencies would be like a poking wire. So sometimes the wire can shift, or it could get longer as the teeth move, and it could poke like your cheeks and at the back and things like that. So for pokey wires, we recommend using wax. Do you remember having some wax
Yeah, I
handy?
do, yeah.
So for the wax, you're gonna take a little pea size and then roll it up into a ball. Make sure you warm it up with the heat of your palm, and then you're gonna stick it on after you dried the area.
Yeah.
So make sure to dry the area really, really clean with like napkin or paper towel before applying the wax so that it stays better. If there's like a lot of saliva, it's not gonna stick. So after the week period, you say you had porridge. Did you go back to your normal diet right after?
I think after about a week, I remember going back to the normal diet.
Yeah.
But I remember having a lot of restrictions about that, like not eating nuts, like hard
Yes,
food.
a lot of people like to chew on bone for some reason, but
Kalbi.
Kalbi,
Yeah.
yes. But just take the meat off the bone. Don't chew the bone. 그건 냅둬도 되는데. If you're eating corn, do you like corn?
I love corn.
Yes. So not like this, but you're gonna cut the corn off the cob, and then you're gonna enjoy it with fork
Yeah.
or a spoon. Yeah. So these kind of measures, then you can pretty much eat almost everything. Gum is not recommended
Yeah.
because when you chew gum, then you can break the brackets really.
Yeah.
Caramel,
Caramel,
toffees,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Those kind of things you should avoid. I mean, even for teeth, that's not great. It can
That's
cause
true.
cavities, right? So with braces, how like When did you start to notice improvements in your smile, like the teeth?
I guess a little bit, a few months later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started noticing some changes.
Were you like more motivated?
Yes, I was. I
So-
was counting down on the days. It was like a few more
That
months.
early? Yes. So for braces, it's not like you get the braces and the next day you're gonna see a big difference. It's a process. I wanna tell you about the 3 processes or 3 stages of braces treatment. The first phase is the alignment phase. And this first 6 months is when you actually notice the biggest changes.
Yeah.
When you have like very crowded teeth or misaligned teeth, they're all gonna become straight. So you're gonna be like, wow, teeth are moving fast, right? So the initial phase, the alignment phase, you'll see the most dramatic results usually. The second phase is when we correct your bite. For instance, a lot of people have an overbite where the upper teeth stick out than the lower teeth. I think you probably had that too.
Yeah,
Yes,
I did.
so that's a very common complaint. But during this time, we're gonna retract the teeth back and we need to wear what's called elastics. So after you get the braces on, you would go back to your orthodontist for regular adjustments every 6 to 8 weeks. And then sometimes earlier, sometimes later, but usually about every 2 months. And then after about 1.5 to 2 years, and you'll pretty much be done. I don't know if you've worn elastics,
I
but
actually didn't.
you actually
but
didn't.
I saw a lot of people wearing those.
So I want to show you how you wear the elastics here. If you look at these brackets, some of them actually have hooks and some of them don't. And the hooks are for the elastics. So let me try to imagine if you have an overbite like this, right? So if you have teeth that are sticking out, then you want to put class 2 or overbite elastics. So we're going to hook it on from the top tooth here, which is the canine, to the back tooth on the bottom. Do you see? Right there. So this is like high school physics, right? The
Yeah.
vector. If you have a pull like this, what is it gonna do? It's gonna help to bring it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the more you wear it, the better results and faster you can get your braces off.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the rubber bands are really, really critical to complete these kind of cases. Of course, there are some cases where you don't need rubber bands, but I would say a majority may need it sometime or later.
And you wear those elastic bands 24/7?
As much as possible.
Oh.
We always say as much as possible, which is 24 hours. Yeah, and then each bag usually has about 100 inside, so it's gonna last you, a month or 2. So you can use the same ones for the whole day. When you're eating, just remove it, leave it on a napkin. After you're done eating, you just put it back on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people ask is like, then Invisalign, you don't need to wear rubber bands. That's not true. Even with Invisalign, if you have a bite issue, if you have an overbite, then we can still use the rubber bands.
But how are you gonna put it on the Invisalign?
That's for the next episode. So we'll address that in the next episode. Braces are not magic, but they are very, very cool scientific tools that we can use to really improve your smile. And it will usually take some time. In the end, it's worth it, right? Today, we talked about braces. We went over it pretty fast, but if you have any further questions or comments regarding your braces, or if you're about to get braces and you have questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next time.